The Amazon is an incredibly unique place. It is the world's largest rainforest and river system, and the most biologically diverse place on Earth. It contains millions of species, most of them still undescribed. Both the Amazon's forest and freshwater systems are at risk. Since the year 2000, rainfall has declined across 69% of the Amazon forest. WWF estimates that 27% of the Amazon biome will be without trees by 2030 if the current rate of deforestation continues. Protecting and conserving the Amazon is no easy task, but WWF has been working to save this important place. The Amazon is one of Earth's last refuges for jaguars, harpy eagles, and pink river dolphins, and it is home to sloths, black spider monkeys, and poison dart frogs. It contains 1 in 10 known species on Earth, 40,000 plant species, 3,000 freshwater fish species, and more than 370 types of reptiles. Over 2,000 new species of plants and vertebrates, including a monkey that purrs like a cat, have been described since 1999. This vast region, about 2/3 the size of the US, spans 8 countries: Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and the overseas territory of French Guiana. Covering about 40% of South America, the Amazon contains 1.4 billion acres of dense forests, half of the planet's remaining tropical forests, 4,100 miles of winding rivers and 2.6 million square miles in the Amazon basin. Home to more than 1,000 different species of birds like hummingbirds, channel-billed toucans, hoatzins and macaws, the Amazon is one of the most diverse areas for birds in the world. Macaws, an icon of the Amazon, are highly intelligent and social, living in flocks of 10 to 30 birds. They mate for life and can live up to 60 years. Some species can even mimic human speech. But macaws are under threat from deforestation and the illegal pet trade. More than 30 million people, including 350 indigenous and ethnic groups, live in the Amazon and depend on nature for agriculture, clothing, and traditional medicines. There is also a clear link between the health of the Amazon and the health of the planet. The rainforests, which contain 90 billion to 140 billion metric tons of carbon, help stabilize local and global climate. The Amazon also pumps about 7 trillion tons of water per year into the atmosphere, and its forests recycle 50%–75% of annual rainfall back into the atmosphere. The Amazon faces many threats, including deforestation from extensive cattle ranching and agricultural expansion, poorly planned infrastructure, illegal and unsustainable natural resource extraction, and climate change. WWF has been working to protect and conserve the Amazon for over 40 years. WWF works to confront the drivers of deforestation, like soy farming, cattle ranching, hydropower, illegal and unsustainable logging, and infrastructure. WWF and our partners launched an approach called Project Finance for Permanence in Brazil to protect 150 million acres of the Brazilian Amazon. We joined public and private entities to raise $215 million to create, consolidate, and maintain a network of 114 protected areas. The network, called the Amazon Region Protected Areas Program, is almost 3 times larger than all US national parks combined. Now WWF is testing the same approach for the protected area systems in several other countries that are important for conservation, including Peru, Bhutan, and Colombia. There are many ways you can help protect the Amazon. You can educate your friends and family about the importance of the Amazon. You can become a discerning customer, ask how your food and other purchases have been produced, and buy products with the FSC label. You can reduce your use of fossil fuels and your impact on the planet. You can also speak up for the Amazon peoples by sharing their stories and talking about environmental concerns. On the eastern slopes of the Andes Mountains lies a vast and remote region of high-altitude shrublands and dense cloud forests. Capuchin monkeys, spectacled bears, mountain tapirs and white-necked parakeets dwell here. Water flows from these forested slopes and forms the headwaters of the Amazon River's major tributaries. Climate change threatens to disrupt this network of water and the forest's wildlife depend on. River areas are vulnerable to changes in rainfall and warming temperatures. Drying forests are less able to stabilize soils and protect freshwater sources and crops. As the climate changes, wildlife and plants need intact stretches of forests to transition to more suitable habitats. WWF works with local communities and governments in Colombia, Ecuador and Peru to address these issues. Protecting river habitat in the Colombian Amazon region, the Upper Putumayo River area is threatened by unsustainable agriculture and poorly planned development, but is also extremely vulnerable to increased frequency of droughts and flooding due to climate change. Migratory fish such as catfish and buffalo fish are at risk, which affects the sustenance and livelihoods of local communities. Maintaining vegetation along rivers is very important to both wildlife and people in the face of climate change since it maintains stream temperatures, provides shelter to wildlife from warmer air temperatures, provides corridors for animal migration, reduces flooding and erosion from increased rains. To reduce the area's vulnerability to climate change, WWF is working to restore and maintain vegetation along the river and introduce more sustainable agricultural practices. We offer incentives to cattle ranchers to protect the aquatic vegetation and reduce the impact of grazing livestock. Preparing farmers and wildlife areas for climate change. WWF is preparing 3 protected mountain forest areas in the Amazon for the consequences of climate change. We are also working with small-scale coffee farmers that border these forests, helping them to raise their crops sustainably and adapt to the already unpredictable rainfall and warmer temperatures impacting production. In order to protect the Amazonian forests and the crops of local farmers via the Amazon rainforest is a tropical rainforest located in South America. It is the biggest tropical rainforest in the world, and home to a vast number of animals and plants, many of which are found nowhere else on Earth. 1 in 10 of all of the world's plant and animal species are found in the Amazon rainforest. There are many more species living in the region that are yet to be discovered. The Amazon rainforest also provides a home to millions of people, including indigenous tribes whose lives are largely unaffected by modern life. The Amazon rainforest is the world's biggest rainforest. Located in South America, the Amazon rainforest covers an area of 5.5 million square kilometers, 2.1 million square miles. The Amazon rainforest covers parts of 9 countries, 8 South American countries and French Guiana, an overseas territory of France. 60% of the Amazon rainforest is in Brazil, 13% is in Peru and 10% is in Colombia. The forest also enters parts of Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Guyana, Suriname and French Guiana. The Amazon rainforest is located in the Amazon basin, the area of land that drains into the Amazon River. The Amazon basin covers 7 million square kilometers, 2.7 million square miles, that's around 40% of South America. The Amazon River is the world's biggest river by discharge, the amount of water that flows through it. It discharges an incredible 6,591 cubic kilometers per year, 1,581 cu miles per year. The amount of water carried by the Amazon River is so great that even 160 kilometers, 100 miles from the coast, the seawater is still noticeably less salty. The Amazon rainforest is home to the biggest collection of plant and animal species in the world. There are over 400 mammal species, over 400 amphibian species, and over 370 reptile species living in the region. Scientists estimate that there are a staggering 2.5 million insect species present in the Amazon rainforest. Below is a list of just a few of the animal species found in the Amazon rainforest. Scroll down to see Amazon rainforest birds and plants. Amazon rainforest, large tropical rainforest occupying the drainage basin of the Amazon River and its tributaries in northern South America and covering an area of 2,300,000 square miles, 6 million square km. Comprising about 40% of Brazil's total area, it is bounded by the Guyana highlands to the north, the Andes Mountains to the west, the Brazilian Central Plateau to the south, and the Atlantic Ocean to the east. Amazonia is the largest river basin in the world, and its forest stretches from the Atlantic Ocean in the east to the tree line of the Andes in the west. The forest widens from a 200-mile 320 km front along the Atlantic to a belt 1,200 miles 1,900 kilometers wide where the lowlands meet the Andean foothills. The immense extent and great continuity of this rainforest is a reflection of the high rainfall, high humidity, and monotonously high temperatures that prevail in the region. The Amazon rainforest is the world's richest and most varied biological reservoir, containing several million species of insects, plants, birds, and other forms of life, many still unrecorded by science. The luxuriant vegetation encompasses a wide variety of trees, including many species of myrtle, laurel, palm, and acacia, as well as rosewood, Brazil nut, and rubber tree. Excellent timber is furnished by the mahogany and the Amazonian cedar. Major wildlife includes jaguar, manatee, tapir, red deer, capybara and many other types of rodents, and several types of monkeys. In the 20th century, Brazil's rapidly growing population settled major areas of the Amazon rainforest. The size of the Amazon forest shrank dramatically as a result of settlers' clearance of the land to obtain lumber and to create grazing pastures and farmland. Brazil holds approximately 60% of the Amazon basin within its borders, in some 1,583,000 square miles, 4,100,000 square km of this was covered by forests in 1970. The amount of forest cover declined to some 1,283,000 square miles, 3,323,000 square km, by 2016, about 81% of the area that had been covered by forests in 1970. In the 1990s, the Brazilian government and various international bodies began efforts to protect parts of the forest from human encroachment, exploitation, deforestation, and other forms of destruction. Although Brazil's Amazon continues to lose forest cover, the pace of this loss declined from roughly 0.4% per year during the 1980s and 90s to roughly 0.1–0.2% per year between 2008 and 2016. However, some 75,000 fires occurred in the Brazilian Amazon during the first half of 2019, an increase of 85% over 2018, largely due to encouragement from Brazilian press. Jair Bolsonaro, a strong proponent of tree clearing,